Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, everyone. How we doing? Hopefully everyone is doing fine. So I wanted to talk about this because I remember a few weeks ago when I discussed the abuse that the girls go through underneath these hyenas in these households. I realized that a lot of you were, a lot of the men specifically, were unaware of the ways in which the girl children are taken advantage of, the ways in which they are abused, the ways in which they are just sort of treated as non-human as well by the very hyena mother that does it to her boys. Okay. Because oftentimes, and I think it's because definitely you reminded me to rest in peace to Neely Fuller Jr., one of our scholars, passed away a few days ago. I had to see that post from Tariq on Instagram like yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Neely Fuller Jr. was the mentor to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And they were, brought so much information to us about the inner workings and the nuances of white supremacy, aka white survivalism, and how it affects both white people and Black people, how colonialism affects us in the various different areas of life. Okay. So my condolences to his family. So people were really taken aback by the abuses that these hyena mothers put their daughters through, how they talk to them, how they interact with them, the ways in which they break their will, they break their psychological, you know what I'm saying, and just basically sit them behind the 8 ball very far in just as they do the boys. Okay. And like I said, oftentimes in this space, we have a focal point on how these types of households produce the kinds of men that we have in terms of the men not really understanding their masculinity and not having their fathers around and things of that nature, and how it affects the men, which is a worthy conversation. But what gets lost is that I think the sentiment is that because there are girls in the house, that the girls are getting some type of preferential treatment in terms of being treated well because they are girls. This is not so. The video that I'm about to show, matter of fact, I'm not even going to explain the video. I'm just going to show it. And no, I do not think that this is a skit. Let me know also if you can hear it. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it.
Do that. What you mean? Why would I do that? Did your daddy pass away? But that was not. I don't even have my birth certificate. So you took my birth certificate. Did he ever pay child support? And what you mean birth certificate? Didn't I have? What does that got to do with me? He left me money, not you. Okay, but he never took care of you. So that was his payback from me. That was my payback. That he's never gave me child support to take care of you or your brothers. That has nothing to do with me. What you mean it doesn't? I don't know why you think you can just take my money. It's not your money. It's not yours at all. It is my money. I had you. It's in my name. Okay, that's stealing. I gave you your name. That's stealing. You took my birth certificate and claimed insurance money, my inheritance. That's stealing. I had you with your father that passed away, that didn't give me a single dime. Not one. Why would you do that? What you mean, why would I do that?
So what's wrong with that? It's wrong on a lot of levels because she dehumanized the girl. In a hyena's world, her children, a hyena's children, are not human beings. They are not separate individuals that have a right to their identities and personhood. They do not have a right to it. In a hyena's mind, no matter how old or young her children are, they belong to her as in they are her property in the same exact way that a master feels ownership of a slave. That everything that a slave owns is also owned by the master of the slave, to such an extent that the slave is not entitled to their own personhood. Okay. When there was a such thing as chattel slavery in this country, that was the sentiment. Owners of slaves owned them, and they did not have humanity or personhood or individuality. They did not have a right to it. It was not biologically recognized. It was not culturally recognized, and it was not environmentally recognized in terms of being part of the law of the land. Okay, so slaves were slaves in every sense of that word, in the way that you own a dog, the way that you own heads of cattle, the way you own your car, the way you own the clothes on your back. One moment, please. Give me 1 moment. My apologies. Where was I? Oh, yes. Chattel slavery. So in a hyena's mind, both her male and her female children belong to her in the same exact way that you own anything that you own, whether it be inanimate or not. Okay. All right. So due to this sense of ownership, the mother felt no compunction. She did not hesitate, and she justified her actions, which were both illegal and immoral, wrong on every level. Okay. Wrong on every single level that you could be wrong. And she was doing that because she owns her daughter. That girl sounded to be either an older teen, like 18, 19, or maybe 20 years old. She might have been 17 or something like that. Old enough to understand the wrong that was done. She says, I don't even have my birth certificate. So you stole her identity in order to basically run a scam, in order to usurp your daughter's inheritance from a man that you claim was not taking care of his daughter, which doesn't make sense, because if he didn't care about taking care of his child in life, he would not have tried to take care of her in death. So it doesn't make sense. Or he didn't want to give the mother any money because of this kind of situation, and thought that an inheritance in his death would shield the money from the mother and be directed to his daughter, where only his daughter could receive it. Okay. It's a very big haram thing in Islam. I was actually going to see if I could find the verses. Okay. Let's see. Maybe did I spell in here? I'm going to see if I can find relative or relevant verses of Quran. Okay. About the inheritance, because we have a strict inheritance law. Okay. We have strict inheritance laws about not eating up or using the inheritance of children and orphans. Okay. That you cannot consume. You cannot consume it. You cannot wrongfully utilize. So even if you were to adopt a child and that child had maybe a trust or something given to them that they could not access, if you had to use any of that money that was assigned to them strictly for their survival, to pay for things, you know what I'm saying, to pay for the upkeep of that child. Let's say you didn't have any other source of income and you needed that money. It's an emergency, you needed it. You're supposed to put it back. You're supposed to put it back. You're supposed to, and if you can double their money, if you grow it for them, that's what you should do. But you should never usurp it, ever. You should never take it, use it, and then when it comes time for them to be adults and take control of the inheritance money, land, whatever it was that was bequeathed to them, they don't have it because you used it. Very big haram. Very big haram. Allah does not like that at all. It's theft. It's literally stealing. It's literally stealing. Because those things are trust, especially when you have minors. Those things are trust. You are supposed to be their guardian. And you are supposed to be trustworthy in the holding of that trust. It is an amanat. So if you are a person that usurps, then there's a punishment for that. Allah don't play that. Allah does not play that. Very strict laws in Islam about what kind of inheritance, who can get, depending on the estate, or if there's anything to be left, who can get it? How much do they get? Down to how much do they get? This one thinks that she owns her child. So because she owns her child, and also to come away from the ownership part of this, Black hyena mothers do not love their children and do not raise them out of love. They feel that either the child or the father or somebody else has to pay them back, or somebody owes them something for being a parent, which was completely their choice to do so. So a hyena's children owe her. They owe her for raising them. They owe her for doing her job or not as a mother. And they feel this way regardless of how they treated their children. They could have been a horrible parent, and they will feel that a child owes them. You owe them your life. That whatever, no matter how much of an adult, how old you are, or what you got going on in your personal life, you supposed to stop what you doing and cater to them. You supposed to give them all your money. You supposed to ignore everybody for them. You are supposed to, they call it honoring them. They are looking for financial compensation. They are looking for financial compensation for having raised you, regardless of how they raised you, regardless of whether they tried to be a good parent, an abusive parent, a neglectful parent, a dismissive parent, a domineering parent, no matter what they did to you, in their mind, you owe them the rest of your life. You are not allowed to live your life in a way that they don't approve and that don't benefit them. They actively I read something and it threw my mind off. Okay, hold on. Because I think I actually bypassed it. Okay, I'm going to share. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. Don't worry, there's English. Let the guardians be as concerned for the orphans as they would if they were to die and leave their own helpless children behind. So let them be mindful of Allah and speak equitably. Indeed, those who unjustly consume the orphan's wealth, in fact, consume nothing but the fire into their bellies, and they will be burned in a blazing hell. Allah commands you regarding your children. The share of the male would be twice that of the female. If you leave only 2 or more females, their share is 2/3 of the estate. But if there is only one, her share will be 1/2. Each parent is entitled to 1/6 if you leave offspring. But if you are childless and your parents are the only heir, then your mother will receive 1/3. If you leave siblings, your mother receives 1/6. After the fulfillment of bequests and debts, be fair to your parents and children, as you do not fully know who is more beneficial to you. This is an obligation from Allah, and surely Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. The punishment is hellfire. The punishment is the hellfire. Allah said it real clear. They eat nothing but the fire into their bellies, and they will burn in a blazing hell. Allah not playing. Allah not playing. Allah is not playing. Allah is not playing at all. See, stuff that we think is small, stuff that we think ain't a big deal, stuff that we think Allah not paying no attention to. See, it's stuff like that get you put in hellfire. It's that kind of stuff. Those mindsets, those behaviors, the things that drive you to do something like that because you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. Even if you don't have a Quran and you're not Muslim, you know that's wrong. Even if you're not religious at all, you know it's wrong. So Allah is not playing again when he say, this day I have made the right way distinct from the wrong. La ikraha fid din. Qad tabayna rushdu min al-ghayy. And these hyenas, this is why I keep covering different aspects, because it's demonic. The shaitan inspire you to do what you know is wrong. It's wrong in Allah's eyes. It's wrong in the eyes of man's law. It's wrong. Ain't nothing right about it. You ate that up. You ate up her inheritance that her father left her. That man is gone. And whatever he left her, that's it. He can't accumulate no more income and give it to her. And you used it. You stole it. You have no intention of righting that wrong. And you don't think you're going to have to talk to Allah about that? You don't think you're going to have to face Allah with that kind of stuff? And then we wonder why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned women that when I visited the hellfire, I saw more of you. And the women of his time asked him, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why? Why is more women in the hellfire than the men? And he gave at least 2 reasons that I can remember. Somebody can correct me if they remember more. One of them was, you curse your children. You curse your children. And you are disobedient to your husbands. And you're ungrateful to your husbands. If that ain't the modern day hyena, I don't know who it is. If that ain't the modern day hyena, who is it? Huh? This is why what I'm talking about is of such importance. I'm not on here for my health. There are so many other entertaining things and fun things that I could be talking about. I probably have 1 million subscribers by now. I could be playing games. I could have a singing cover channel. I could have had, well, I really couldn't have did no gossip channel because I don't like gossip. But y'all get the picture. Hold on, because I'm actually cooking. Like, well, I'm actually cooking for real, not just theoretically. Hold on. Once again, my apologies. But since we're here, after these messages, we'll be right back. So I need everybody to hurry up and click the link at the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. Go and pick yourself and your loved one up a wonderful gift that they will absolutely use, and they'll be happy that you got it for them. Some wonderful body butter and other personal care products that are phenomenal. If you want to keep your skin looking, feeling, smelling its best, smelling smooth, smelling good, feeling smooth, and all of that, look no further than ashkicking.com. Once again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. If this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Once again, that is ashkicking.com. Bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you, Quiet Face. In this case, the child associated herself with her birthright because of insurance protocols. However, this intent begins in family court via child support, alimony, and nominal visitation. This is an example of a devouring mother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you, Welt. Said, hey, sis, it's most definitely illegal. I know of a mother who was arrested last year for this very thing. It's definitely illegal. I could have had a cooking channel. Would have had 1 million subscribers by now. Do you understand me? I often think about, should I have like an anonymous YouTube channel and see if I can get 1 million subscribers on it? So I don't sit here for my health just to pop my gums and no one leaves with an understanding of anything. I'm pointing out these things because it is a spiritual matter, not to be taken lightly at all. So just to recap what I'm talking about, the abuses, the attempt to break your will, the attempt to break you as a person, and you wonder why you're getting the women that you're getting. Lionesses come from houses like this. Lionesses come from these places. I need y'all to understand that. In this society, lionesses rarely come from the two-parent, functional, positive home. That is rare. The vast majority of us come from some level of this. It's levels to it, but we come from some level of this foolishness here, which is why I'm talking about getting the lionesses who are wounded, who are hurt, who are traumatized, and who do not know that they are lionesses. And even if they do, they don't know how to maximize on their own potential. They don't know how to do it. This is another reason why, you know, I hear a lot of things. People's talking points and so forth. A lioness does not come completely ready. What are you talking about, Crimson? For the men who are looking at me as an example, I'll be 47 this year, God willing. I am not young. I'm not no 20-something, 30-something year old lioness. To get to the point of refinement that I am, with improvement, there's always improvement. I never believe that there's no such thing. There's no such thing in my mind as you don't improve anymore. That's fake. As long as you're breathing, there's something that you can improve upon. But don't judge a 25-year-old lioness that she's not at my point. I've had a lot of work. Do y'all understand? Do that make sense? She's not gonna come to you in this society completely refined. She can't. She working behind the 8 ball already, just like you. Because you grew up not 8 times out of 10 without a proper guide for your masculinity. You was put behind the 8 ball in your manhood at some point. You had to figure it out on your own at some point. You had to make mistakes at some point. Some might have been costly, more costly than others. You had to fumble people. You had to not act right in your relationship. Talk to the guys. You had to do that until you figured out, wait a minute, this is how I gotta be as a man. The lioness come the same way. She gonna make some mistakes. Hopefully she don't make none that's too detrimental. She not gonna have it 100% all together. She did not have 9 times out of 10, she did not have a lioness model at all. She had only hyenas, and she's having to pick what she can do differently. She not gonna have everything figured out at 22. All her femininity, all her understanding of what it takes to be a wife and a woman, she don't know that. When I was young and married, I didn't know all that stuff. I had a willingness to be a good wife, but I didn't know all the nuances and just how to talk and just how to that. This has come from years of trial and error. That's what this comes from. This is years of trial and error. Doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing. Now your husband mad at you. Now you got to figure out why he mad and what did you do, and you don't feel like you did nothing wrong. But now somebody got to explain to you why it was upsetting, and now you got to try to figure out, well, all right, and all of that. A lot of pride swallowing and all of that. Learning how to properly communicate your desires or your needs, or communicate issues in a way, having to learn how men think, That's all on the fly. As long as she have the willingness and the desire, and she make actual, visible, practical effort to be a good wife to you. You can, and you know when she's making an effort for real. You know that. You know that. You know that. The energy don't never lie. We as lionesses, we understand the obvious stuff. It's the subtleties that we be having to learn and navigate. I almost want to talk about some other stuff. Oh, yeah. For the lionesses, my unmarried lionesses. This is a lipstick from Huda Beauty, Huda Beauty. And this shade is called Promotion Day. This shade of red. It's an awesome lipstick. The lipsticks cost about $30 or so, $30, $40. Worth every penny. This is one swipe. It go on like butter. For the lionesses, for my unmarried young lionesses, I'm going to share something with you. And this is why I try to tell y'all about the hyena male and how to discern when you're dealing with a male hyena. It'll be quick, hopefully. Quote with your unapologetic opinion on anything. This is obviously from Twitter. This person wrote, there's a guy, and he says, can y'all see it? Okay. He says, I easily lose interest when I meet a good woman. I don't like women to be all over me. Even if you love me like mad, hold back a little. Don't suffocate me. Stress me out once in a while. Once I feel I have you all to myself, I will definitely misbehave and lose interest. What do you want exactly? And he says again, a woman who relaxes and allows me to love her while she reciprocates way less. Who doesn't become available when I want to see her. Who pretends like she doesn't care, but shows it on rare occasion. A woman who has a mind of her own and doesn't tolerate every BS. He doesn't want a lioness. That is a male hyena. No. I see what you mean, but I've ran into male hyenas. They think the same way the females do. Please avoid this, lionesses. There are male hyenas, and I told y'all they don't like lionesses. He opened up and said that he doesn't like good women. And then he described what he means by that. He doesn't want her to be supportive or reciprocal in the relationship. He doesn't want her patience. He doesn't want her to be ready to be with him and make herself available and work with him. He wants a woman that doesn't really reciprocate anything. He wants another hyena. This is because he said, once I feel that I've got you to myself, I'm going to misbehave. That doesn't always mean cheat. He's going to start treating you crazy. He's going to start treating you crazy. He's going to try to take your kindness for a weakness and then try to take advantage of that. When I say stuff like it's a male hyena and lionesses need to watch that, I am not being facetious or hyperbolic. I mean that. He needs a hyena. What he said, stress him out. You see what I'm saying? He want a woman stress him out. Because what? Hyena males will play with you. They will waste time. They will mock you for your efforts as a lioness. Do not get roped in with these guys. Do not get roped in with these guys. I don't care how appealing or attractive or whatever it is that you think you see in him and all of that type of stuff. No, don't get roped in with this guy. He does not like you. He does not like you. I have ran into male hyenas before. Just listen to their mindset. It's like, oh, you weird, huh? You're the weirdo. Cause how you don't want no peace. You know you with a male hyena when he pick problems. When he pick problems. When he pick arguments to you. Everything's an argument. You know, every 2 to 3 business days, he mad. For what? You don't know. For those who are saying in the chat that a woman wrote it, let's pretend, let's take that to be true. A woman wrote that post. What I'm saying is true. It does not negate what I'm talking about. at all. And lionesses ought to beware, because you'll get caught up somewhere trying to be a lioness and be trying to figure out why you getting treated bad. Like, why is it not working? Why all your efforts is not getting the result that everybody tell you you're supposed to get? Doing it to the wrong person. Doing it with the wrong person. They don't appreciate it. They don't like it. Hyenas don't like lions and lionesses. They don't like it. They act like they moms. They emotional like they mama. They don't really deal with a lot of logic and reason. They always in their feelings. They always in their emotional bag, but not in a good way. It be in a toxic hyena way. And it's like, why are you always upset? And that upsets lionesses when our man is upset all the time. And we be trying to figure out what we're doing wrong. They be trying to get rid of you, actually. Take the hint. Take the hint. And let's just get out of there. Thank you, Mogul, for your contribution. I appreciate you. Thank you, Passport Wolf. So did you pay off your neighbor like DJ and Hustle and Flow so you can make It's Hard Out Here? Oh, you talking about all the noise. Okay, now I get it. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate you. So the lions got to be careful of these hyenas out here try to be chameleons and all that foolishment. And lionesses, stop getting caught up with foolishment with these hyena males out here. They'll run you crazy before you know it. Just leave it. I'm specifically talking to my single, unmarried lionesses. Just don't. If it's looking stupid, just leave it. Can't never make no headway. With relationship is always, always arguing and mad. You don't even be trying to argue. That's because them demons be trying to argue. Just leave it. Demons like arguing and chaos and a bunch of foolishness going on all the time. Thank you, Miss Mia. So the lionesses got to testify more. They do. We do. Definitely do. I'm about done though. We're gonna get we're gonna get on up out of here. I almost feel like I need to say something else, but I can't think of it. I'm gonna turn this thing off and figure it out. I'm gonna turn this thing off and be like, anyway. I'm not even going to belabor the point. But jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.